class is in session. Saw this last night, and Asmongold did a deal on. I love Asmongold, but and he's very smart on this stuff. But I saw originally in my like it was the YouTube Shorts. I saw this, and I read it, and it says used him, but used him, built a career out of him just to dump him for a guy a foot taller. I saw that on, and I'm like, I'm not clicking on that. That's clickbait. I could tell it was rage bait. I could tell, and it's I'm 5'7" for a short kings. I could tell that was rage bait, and it was gonna So why click on it, right? Someone's gonna have some propaganda. You're short. You're a loser. You're doomed. Blah blah blah. Now this gentleman, I guess this is the guy that we're talking about. He's 5'3". I will tell you, I'm 5'7", but 5'3" is short. It's very short. Okay? It doesn't mean you can't do it. It doesn't mean you can't get girls. Absolutely can get girls. Absolutely can have a lot of success. We talk about it's looks maxing and your mindset. If you think at 5'3" you can't get girls, then you can't get girls. Your mindset's gonna blow you out of the water. Your insecurity that you have inside, and there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of strong opinions. In the comments, like, yeah, short kings, short people are doomed, and black pill, and, but oftentimes we like to save our egos and blame something else besides our own weak mindset. Your weak mindset is a lot of times what the women are seeing, not your shortness. It's the problem you have with your shortness, and it comes out as lack of confidence, okay? So oftentimes it's your own insecurities. I'm 5'3", I have muscles, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna marry this girl. See, and this guy's a blue pill simp kind of guy. He's Disney blue pill. And he doesn't know what he doesn't know. I mean, again, he seems a little bit, romantic. Again, it's fine. We go through that, but it wasn't his shortness to a certain degree. But let's watch this. I can comment on some stuff.
You can start getting online clouded sponsors. Get a long-term girlfriend who says she loves you. Constantly makes videos about getting married and how height doesn't matter.
Well, right there, constantly making videos about getting married and height doesn't matter. He's focused on that. He's pedestalizing his girl. She should be trying to, just like we talked about, atomic attraction. It's been a good thing. I've been going over that again. A man should want to be free, okay? You should go kicking and screaming to the altar. After a while, finally she's convinced you. But kicking and screaming, not, I'm going to marry her. I'm going to marry her. It's like she's already done the work then. It's like your boss be like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and give you the vice president job, even though you just started here today. You'd be like, all right, that ain't going to work. Anyway, so right there, mindset. Too much focus on marriage. Too much focus on, she's already earned him, pedestalizing her. Let's go.
It's an inspiration for short guys. Girlfriend gets some popularity online too, and even her own sponsors. Girlfriend leaves him for a guy who is almost a foot taller.
Well, it looked like he already had clout. Don't tell me she didn't know this. And he doesn't know. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. He doesn't know that women will manipulate and use you. He thought she was there for true love, and he comes out with some arrogance. If you're a short king coming out with arrogance, like, doesn't matter if you're short. It matters that you're short. It does. It matters I'm 5'7". A guy, and I'm not, you can't, it's not black and white, but a guy that's 6 foot is oftentimes what women are more attracted to. Not saying that I can't beat that guy out, but at 5'7", at 5'3", especially at 5'3", you have to overcompensate in the gym. Yeah, you do. He knew that. Don't tell me he didn't know that. That's why he uses steroids. I don't think, does he say that on his content? I've used steroids. I've worked out my whole life. I'm 50 years old. I've worked out my whole life. I know what steroids do. I know what you can accomplish with that. So his jawline, his neck, his shoulders, the 5'3" dude knew he had to overcompensate. He might not outwardly know it, but he did. He was cheating to a certain degree, if he's not saying it. There's a lot of guys who cheat to get girls, with the steroids. And I don't say cheat. What I'm saying is, he knows that he's got to put some racing gas in his we don't allow racing gas in these cars, fellas. He's over there pumping racing gas in his car because he knows his engine's weak, right? At 5'3", right? Well, and and then the girl goes to another guy. That guy's using steroids, right? And those guys, to a certain degree, are cheating to a certain degree. I think you should cheat. Okay, check with your doctor, make sure it's legal. I got to give it YouTube, let's go.
I love you, and more handsome, and the rest is history. How we know we're gonna get married? Random guy. I'm 5'3".
He clearly, and they're in the fitness, some kind of fitness influencers. She's part of the fitness influencer, right? And they've got sponsors there. That dude right here, he's definitely steroiding out. Okay, he definitely knows he's got to overcompensate. He definitely knows what women want. Women want guys that work out and are buff. Women also want guys that tend to be taller. Doesn't mean you have to. Doesn't mean, but if you are short, you better get in the gym and bust your butt. Okay? A guy who's 6'1" probably could slack off a little bit, But this guy over here, pause, looks good as taller, but and works out, So, it is what it is, but you're not doomed. You can't be doomed, A man that gives up and claims he's doomed is not a man, a man looks for solutions, right? And yeah.
I have muscles. Height doesn't matter. I'm gonna marry this girl. Used him and built a career out of him just to dump.
But she would have used him anyway, even if he was 6 foot. Women do that. Look at these OnlyFans girls with these. They know if they hitch their ride, use their beauty. That's her strongest agency, right? His strongest agency was maybe his discipline, his plan to make these TikToks. He had a following maybe. His vision and his work rate or whatever got him a little bit of following, right? This girl sees it. What is she going to use? She's going to use her strongest agency. It ain't the way she talks to somebody. It ain't the way she makes someone laugh. No, she's going to use her strongest agency, her sexuality. That's what she did to get what she wanted to get. I mean, we can't cry about this stuff. There's nothing. This has been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and there's a bunch of whiny ass red pill ragers that black pilling, thinking, oh, short kings are there. This all is propaganda.
For a guy a foot taller, and then he made a video. It's called Breakup.
This guy right here, heavy steroid use. He knows he's got to cheat. I would recommend men look like that. That's a good solid look. He's also just worked out probably. He's also probably using some, Cialis to get them veins pop. The guy, but I'm just saying, he's not a natural natty. You know what I'm saying? Either is the other guy. So, these guys are in the kind of the outliers of how good your physique wants to be. But I say you need to get jacked, But these guys definitely know they got to cheat. They know and I say cheating meaning I would say the people using steroid products, anabolic products, pharmaceuticals are outliers to a certain degree. It's getting more and more. Still outliers though. Most people don't use steroids. Most guys don't use steroids. So you're already going to kind of jack yourself up above the normal natty guys. So you're cheating. But I don't have a problem with it. I do too.
Oh my God. This is the viral TikTok? I've got to see this. So this is his video.
I can't get a girlfriend because I'm short.
But also, a lot of men will cope and say that the reason that they can't get a girl is because they're short. But that's not the reason. Never been an issue for me.
Well, if they're short and not using steroids, see, he's kind of being arrogant there, and it kind of looks ignorant to a certain degree, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but he's saying it's cope, but it's also cope to use steroids and be short. We all cope. You're coping you're in the gym because you're 5'3", and I needed you. You knew at a young age. What, he's 19? Not too many people abuse steroids at 19. You knew at a young age you need to start getting jacked and use illegal products and start cheating. Not and I cheat too. So I'm not saying, but my stuff's legal. You know what I mean? So don't come at me, DEA. I've cheated before with illegal. Don't come at me, DEA. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That hot. But anyway.
Sorry, it's just I'm so sorry about the volume. It's always so annoying.
Always check with your doctor before you use any products. Always make sure your products are safe and don't do anything illegal. You can go to other countries or something. Maybe it's legal there. I don't know. But get jacked. These are steroid users.
Oh my god.
And all this is propaganda. And somebody that everybody, and this is life in general, right? You're gonna be on a high one day. You're gonna be and as a man, you're gonna fail at times. You're gonna have a bad day at work. You're gonna lose a job. You're gonna go broke. Men do this, and that's a test of a man's character, right? He lost his girl, whatever, and what these rage baiters or whoever it is. This is the internet world that loves to say ha 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 short, and see I told you, and a lot of guys who use this as validation of why they can't get what they want in the dating world, right? See, told you, it's because I'm short. Maybe it's because they're a loser. Maybe it's because their personality sucks. Maybe it's because their insecurity shows up when they go out, because they're always fixated on being short, right? It has nothing to do with them being short. Like I said, it's mindset. Maybe it's because they don't like to get in the gym and work out like this guy and do steroids, But they're going to focus all on it being short. See, they're making it all about being short, right? Because that's what he focused on.
But heightism might actually be worse than racism. See,
Heightism might be worse than racism. Wow. Jesus.
Yeah, he's a big roid user.
It's crazy how
he's a big. I wonder if he's admitted it. See, that's going to be the BS around this. That is a huge roid user.
has cooked an entire generation. I'm watching this video, and this video, it's
yeah, all this stuff, these are all the rage bait. So here's another problem he has, and it's going to be his Disney mindset.
Make that clear to him, even when we were still in the Instagram texting phase. So here's what you got here. He's got a following. Okay, she's picked up on that. Don't think that, and she wants to get into the business. Okay, you have an ambitious woman that wants to get into the business. Now he's a beta male. Okay, like I said, 80% of men are beta males, and women aren't attracted to that. She wasn't attracted to him originally. Whether it wasn't even, maybe not even because of his size. It's just she wanted what he had. Okay, and she knew linking up to him would get her what she wanted. Now, women do this all the time. All these married women, this is an operating feature of the dual mating strategy. The beta male provider was going to be him. That can also be shit you got, your clout. Women know how to use men to get what they want, and that's what she did. So she sees him on Instagram and starts DMing him. Now, he's going to say it's because I'm hot, I'm jacked, I use steroids. When you use steroids, and myself included, you're going to have, it's going to create some ego issues, right? If someone comes by and says, you're looking small today. So this guy I can guarantee you, he's up in his ego a lot. But, and you do a little work and you'll be fine. But, but he's young. So anyway, so she sees him on TikTok, knows she wants to link up with him. He thinks it's about love, but with her, it's about business. Men are the romantics. Women are pragmatic. Women are pragmatists acting like romantics. Men are romantics acting like pragmatists. Okay? I'm really not looking for something casual.
Okay, now here we go. So right there's his problem. She is signaling, number one, she's leading. Because she's telling him, I'm not looking for something casual. So if you want to deal with me, you got to deal with me in a long-term relationship. You're going to have to deal with me. And that's not how women deal. What she was telling him was, I'm okay for you to say, I don't want to do that. He could have, right? Because if she really liked him, she wouldn't have done that.
because she would have been too scared. He'd have been like, all right, bitch, I'm good. So who's leading right now? She is. And you never let a woman lead. I'm not looking for something casual. This is what someone says to beta males. She knew he was a beta male. Like I've said in so many of my videos, women can smell a mark. They can smell a beta male a mile away. She identified that he's beta male. She identifies she'll hook him. She doesn't respect him. When a woman doesn't respect you, she will never love you. He doesn't know this. He's ignorant. He'll learn. This has nothing to do with his height. It has to do, and all these people commenting on it, it has to do with his lack of game. And by not noticing this, you have lack of game. You know? So when a woman is, you're now, was Ira Tomasi 1 is always control the frame. She's now controlling the frame. I'm not doing anything casual. You come at, and on dating apps, women say this all the time. Women don't want long-term relationships. She's just letting him know that I'm here to, she's not gonna let him know, outright that she's there for the clout. But basically that's what she's saying, because a woman that's hot to trot, if she was hot to trot, right, she'd want to bang him right away. Iron rule of Tomasi number 3. Let's go with iron rule of Tomasi number 3. If she makes you wait for sex, the sex is never worth the wait. It's all about genuine burning desire. The same woman that make him wait, so she's making him wait, is the same woman who will bang the hot guy in the foam cannon party in Cancun in 30 seconds or less, whatever role Tomasi uses as time limit. So she made him wait. She doesn't make the tall guy wait. So, newsflash, there's going to be guys in this, and that's why I say only deal with high interest women. But there are going to be men in this world that women are more attracted to than you. Okay, and that's why I say don't deal with them. Only deal with women that find you. That are highly interested in you, that you are their alpha bang. He was a beta male to her. So if he's a beta male provider, he's not respected. And once his utility is over, I've said this 100 videos, he's done. And it has nothing to do with his height. Everybody in here talking about height, you don't know game.
Looking to date somebody, looking for something casual. And I would have been completely fine if he had been like, okay, hey, thank you for telling me. I'm not looking for that right.
She would have been completely fine. Okay, so this is like, if you have, let's say, just you're into the Hope Diamond. Remember they were looking for the Hope Diamond in Titanic and how they were making. I mean, it was their mission. They were willing to die to find that Hope Diamond. And what if they would have gone to the Hope Diamond and be like, you know what, Hope Diamond, I'm not looking for casualty here. We're gonna have to, I only deal with diamonds that are, and want to be in a relationship. So Hope Diamond, if you coming back up on the shore from this Titanic here, we ain't doing casual. And the Hope Diamond, I'm making an analogy. And if the Hope Diamond says, yeah, I'm good, I'm going to stay down here in the bottom of the ocean, even though y'all risked your lives, and I'm everything that y'all look after, what was it? Good Will Hunting. Remember he wanted the formula? And I know a lot of people have, but Matt Damon's like the rich, the poor prodigy, and he knows math, and he just does it so easy, and he finds the formula, and the guy's been searching for that formula his whole life, and Matt Damon knows he's a loser, and so he starts burning the professor, and he starts burning the piece of paper with the formula on it, and the guy starts going nuts and blowing it out, and Matt Damon's like, this punk. But my point is that's what a woman will do if she really wants you. You are not going anywhere if a woman really wants you. The fact that she was saying she's okay with that means she wasn't that into him. That's what it means. She's signaling, I wasn't that into you. And when they're not that into you from the start, they probably won't be that into you the whole time.
I think that clarity would save so many people so many more heartbreaks.
No, it would. It would. Because what it says is you didn't like him enough. She's not giving out the game. The game is she knows she chases men and goes after men she likes, and she treats beta males and men she doesn't respect like this. And when she doesn't respect you from the beginning, she'll probably never respect you, and you're in a world of hurt. And she'll leave you because she don't respect you. She's disgusted at you, and she'll leave whenever she feels like it. And the fact that the guy's a foot taller, that's just could be coincidence or whatever. But at 5'3", anyone's gonna be taller. I'm just saying, he's short. He's going to have to work out. He's going to have to get jacked. Are we going to cry about it? The world ain't fair. Some guys have hair. Some guys don't. Some Some guys have, some guys have good skin. Some guys don't. Some guys bald. Some guys don't. Everybody's got a deficit. If you have a deficit, if it's severe at 5'3", you got a pretty good challenge. But you ain't done if you go get jacked. Go get some social skills. Go get a good mindset, and he's doing the right thing. Go get on some, legal stuff that performance enhancing. Absolutely.
I think when you said that, I just kind of was like, okay, me too then.
I mean, does that seem very masculine? Attractive behavior is always strength and masculinity. And this right here, what she's doing is performative.
Oh, that women like you existed.
Okay, and admin go, yeah, they're women like her are very common. The ones that manipulate, oh yeah, they're very common. He doesn't even realize he's getting played. See, he doesn't have game, and he's arrogant, and so that's why everyone's happy that he's taking a fall. People love to celebrate your failures, and those that do that, those that are celebrating this guy's failures, see, you couldn't do it. See, those are losers. Because winners, champions, go look at my other videos on my channel. Champions don't complain. The champions don't complain. If you're a champion, you ain't in these comments going, see, can't win, can't do, no. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. We'll see you on the next one.